all offseason was +2 finish. That's what we did every day. If there's a line, you finish 2 yards past the line. Everything, warm-ups, running, everything. And I have no doubt that we're going to finish strong because if anybody does, man, they're going to get checked because why would we not go as hard as we can, especially for these seniors, for these guys that only have so many games left. And I'm going to do that.
Welcome back or welcome to Y Option. We are in week 10. Hard to believe. I'm Yogi Roth. That is Jim Thornby, the co-founder of Y Option. And Jim, you know the quote. We kicked off the newsletter over the weekend with it. The games they remember are the ones in November. A little nod to our good friend Rick Neuheisel. It's been a fun week. We had Jake Butt on talking about Michigan, Michigan State, and of course, the USC and Washington game. He'll be on Big Ten Network. Today, we got a Heisman candidate on in John Mateer of America's team. That's right, Washington State's quarterback who's a legit Heisman candidate. It's legit. I know some people chuckled when I said America's team early in the season. You check out the clip. It was from, I think it was from Cowherd Show. But it's real. Like, they got a shot now, right, man? So here we sit. It's also Halloween week. So let's touch upon that. Are you getting dressed up? What are you and the family doing? What do you got?
We got some game time decisions going on right now. So, we get the kids as they're 12 and 15 now. So it's a little more wrangling going on, or some less wrangling, but also some more wrangling because now you're actually like, oh, I want to go do this and I want to go do this. So, we'll figure that all out. But you got the two little ones, so like you got your hands full a little bit more with that.
Yeah, well, my wife's got her hands full.
Oh, that's right.
Because Halloween's on a Thursday. I'm heading to Nebraska. You know what? I am gutted, though. She has made the costumes from scratch every year. It's been amazing. She's a magician. She's my favorite person, no offense, in the whole world. But we're going to go with Monkey D. Luffy, which is coming from a Japanese anime on Netflix. Check that out. Naruto is the show. Is very popular in a certain age range. And then we got our little guy's going to be a dinosaur. So it'll be full of cuteness. It'll be all over my Instagram page, but she'll be doing all the photo taking. I will not be there. And it is also a big week in the Big Ten. So before we get to the conversation with John Mateer, by the way, no Pac-12 games this weekend. Oregon State, Washington State off. Also, Jim Thornby is going to get the most sleep of the season this week, Jim. Why is that?
I'm fired up for that. There's no game starting after 5 p.m. Pacific. So once those games kind of end and we kind of wrap up our business for the evening, I think, and it's also daylight savings, so there's also getting that extra.
Oh my god!
So it's like
freaked me out.
It's all coming together here. I love it when a plan comes together. So but as you said, no, both of the Pac-12 teams on a bye this weekend. So
ready, set. Dream cabin nestled in the woods. Just 4 hours to go. New job halfway across the country. Butterflies before a first date. Wherever you go, 76 fuels all the ways you go, go, go.
So let's quickly get to the Mountain West. Your point, 3 unbeaten teams in conference play. San Diego State at Boise State. They got a baller at running back. I know Boise State's coming off a tough and gritty win against UNLV. They're in the driver's seat to get that berth in the college football playoff. And Colorado State and Nevada. You got any notes real quickly on this conference?
Yeah. I mean, we watched it with obviously we talked about Washington State having the bye week this week because they just played San Diego State in a close game. San Diego State, 4 straight games decided by 3 points or less. That's the first time that's ever happened to them as a Division I school, which they became in 1969 or something like that. And the one thing I think kind of note here, especially with Ashton Jeanty and the Heisman race, is we saw San Diego State's defense early in the year just pummeled with the run game. They gave up 237 to Oregon State. They gave up 275 to Cal. But last week to Washington State, only 114. It's been trending that, since that Cal game, the defense has gotten better and better every week. So, and we've seen, UNLV last week, that was you could tell like their game plan was, Ashton Janney ain't beating us. And he still had 127 yards. So those two are undefeated. Colorado State is undefeated. And that's also a team that's been kind of interesting. Like they've won 3 straight since that double overtime loss to Oregon State. So, they got crushed in the opener against Texas, but then they played competitively against Colorado. Obviously, that game is going to be more remembered probably for all the smack talk that happened before the game again. But then they played, a competitive game against Oregon State, and now they're starting to trend. So it'll be interesting to see. And obviously, the Washington State fans that don't have a game this week, they should be watching that Boise State game on Friday night, cheering for the Broncos, because they want the Broncos to win out the rest of the way for their chances to really have their only loss be a potential top 10 team.
I say the same thing for Oregon fans. If Oregon wins out, they're going to be just fine. They'll be a number 1 seed, etc. If they lose a game, though, they want to position themselves in the strongest of ways, and they've got a tough slate. I don't think they've got the easiest of schedules in the remaining games. The Big Ten, I think they got to go to Wisconsin. They get UW, of course, in the final game of the season at home, and then a Big Ten title game. Maybe it's a rematch. We'll see how that thing shakes out. I wonder, is something in the water, because San Diego State, Cal, and USC has just all their losses are by combined like less than 30 points. I can't do the math in my head right now, but I'm pretty sure it's less than 30 points when you look at the last month or so of the season. San Diego State, I love that place. I love that stadium. I hate that grass. We got to change that. But a man who looked great in that grass is our guest today, John Mateer, your favorite quarterback's favorite quarterback. Why do I say that? Because when you watch him play, I think we all imagine ourselves playing like that in the backyard at some stage of our lives. And I love that his jersey is always bloodied. It's torn. It's grass stained. And he is going, which is why he's our interview today. Presented by our founding partner, 76, which keeps you in the know on the go. He might just be going all the way to New York City for the Heisman. This team might be going to the CFP as well. We talked to him about all of those things and more in today's interview with Washington State quarterback John Mateer. And here he is, John Mateer, Davey O'Brien Award. Here we go. That just came out this week. But before we get going, John, because it is great to see your beautiful face, man, I got to ask, how many times do you think the equipment staff at Washington State has to wash your jersey, especially after last week? Because it is grass, it is torn, there is blood probably on it. What has it been like to be you this season, man?
It's been a blessing, a true blessing to be in this position, to have these people believe in me and do all the things I've been able to do. Of course, everybody says it, but I truly, I couldn't do this without the people that have got me here. And I just appreciate all the people that have done it. And to answer your question about the jerseys, I actually asked our EQ guy, I was like, look, if you can't get that clean for the next game, I'll take it off your hands. So still TBD on that. And we'll see if that gets done, but it's got to be a lot. That was fun.
That looked like a blast. It reminded me of when we were all kids and you were playing, and you were making plays, and you were gritty, and it was back and forth with your boys. How did it feel when you looked at your teammates and you knew that you were in the fight? And every game you guys have had a version of that. But you look past at this past weekend, as you guys sit in a bye now, I'm just kind of curious how this team, when you look at one another, what you're seeing, what you're feeling as you found yourself victorious once again.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of belief. We've been here together since January 1st, and no indoor, going in the snow. And if you look back at everything we've done, all the hard things we've done, it's been fun. And to see the success we're having now and these hard games and these hard times that we're finishing, and because the finish is really what we preach this offseason. It's coming together in the fourth quarter, and belief, and then just joy that we get to do it with each other and get to look in the huddle, and it's hard, and we all root for each other, and we're all giving everything we can just to win a game, right? It's so fun.
Okay, so you talked about joy. In the beginning of the season, there was kind of a theme around the Pac-12 and the two teams that are in it, and the theme was welcome to the fight. These two teams have not backed down clearly from that. You guys specifically, you being the quarterback and the leader at Washington State. But it seems as though your team has been a rallying cry for even more than what we see on Saturdays. Have you felt the community or been able to take a minute after a game or connect to some fans in a way to say, we are competing for something greater than what is traditionally a 12-game season?
Right. I think, first of all, it's important for us not to get caught up. The result has been, yes, it's been great, and we're competing for more, and we're getting more out of it and all these people. But I think these fans, like the Tech game, you feel them after that game, and the Apple Cup, everybody's on the field, and you feel the love then. I tell you what, you feel the love from those fans. And then after we pulled out a close one against San Jose, even after the loss against Boise, like that wasn't easy on us. But, like nobody gave up. The fans didn't give up. We definitely didn't give up. And then this last game, there's so many fans at San Diego. It was like equal in the amount of noise we were producing, and on third downs it was loud. And I got hit on a couple throws, and at an away stadium, you're listening. I'm like listening to what happens, like because you can't see it, so you're like listening for a reaction. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I don't even know what happened because I don't know if it was good or bad because our fans are cheering, and there's fans are cheering, right? But it's been great, and I appreciate them.
I think there has to be an element of discipline for any successful organization and clearly for any successful football team. You reference like there is a community, the greater good of college football. I called you America's team pretty much all season long because I think if you're a competitor, you want to cheer for Washington State based on what you've been through, what you're going through, and what you stand for. But to your point, there is a discipline about going to work on a Tuesday practice and not necessarily being I don't want to say connected to that, but you don't want that to overwhelm you. How can you speak to the discipline this team has under Jake Dickert and the leadership that you've showcased to stay focused week in and week out?
I think Coach Dicker's done a great job just resetting our focus week to week, really making us clear on what the target is and that our opportunity. He puts opportunity and then the logo of the team we're playing every week, and that's all it is. It's just one team at a time, 1 week at a time, and then one day at a time. And he preaches every day, just loving the process and doing it together and going as hard as you can at practice because, it obviously reflects the game. And I think we've had some great practices, great energy, great detail, and that's led us to where we are.
I love that. Any elite team pays dramatic attention to detail. We like paying attention to detail here as well at Y Option. Okay, I don't know if you're aware. You might be one of those guys that just has somebody run your social media during the season. I don't know.
No.
But, okay, you're one of two players that have won multiple awards here at Y Option after your performances. You've been my 5-star QB, which is what we give out to our favorite quarterback every weekend multiple times. But we all know that in recruiting, you are not a 5-star quarterback. In fact, you are the 119th ranked quarterback in the class of 2022.
Yes, sir.
You knew that, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, I know that. I knew that.
You knew that. But you've gone to work. How have you utilized that? How'd you navigate that to be in a position that probably very few outside of your close circle thought you could accomplish?
I think when I was younger, it really motivated me. I didn't understand it. I didn't understand recruiting. I didn't enjoy recruiting. I felt like it was unfair, this and that. And I'm not a big like woe is me like this, but I was like, this doesn't make sense. Like because I believe and I was raised, if you give everything you can and you prove to yourself and the people around you that you can count on you and you can make plays, and just in playing quarterback, you make plays and do good things, and you will get stuff for it. And at one point, I wasn't getting anything for it. I was getting FCS offers. And all these people, I would look at the rankings, and I was nowhere to be found, and this and that. And all these people playing 7-on-7, and their highlights were there, and it was just like I would sit in class and just be so stressed. I didn't know where I was going to go. I thought I wasn't doing enough, this and that. And then I obviously was blessed with an opportunity to come up here. Crazy turn of events, Coach Morris getting the offer and coming up here. And then when I got here, it left my mind. It wasn't, and it's not. I don't go into every game. Oh yeah, I was under recruited. It's and then maybe that's just maturity. But I understand now that I got this opportunity, no matter where I was ranked, and it's just an opportunity to play, and then just give it my all, like I try to do every week, and do it for the guys around me.
I want to talk about QB though, because I think it's just amazing the room that you were in. I've been able to sit in on meetings with you and Ben Arbuckle. What is that like with the young, detailed, clearly talented offensive coordinator and quarterback coach?
It's super energized. He's always, he'll crack some jokes here and there, but the detail and the focus and his intention is really what gets us successful, makes us successful, and how much he cares about his players, how much he can connect to his players to get everything out of them. And me included, he's been great for me. Just his energy and his belief in me. When I really needed it, when Like there was a point where I wasn't playing as good. I went in there and I was like, look, like this is. And he told me he regrouped me. He was like, we believe in you. Like there's no question. We believe in you so much. He told me right before that 26-second drive to get the field goal against San Jose, he was like, everybody in the building knew you were going to get it done. And that kind of added perspective for me. He's been great for me. I really appreciate him and everything he's done.
What kind of perspective does that add for you at this position?
Just that, going into the year, I had never done it. I had never thrown for 2,000 yards. I had never started a game. So I didn't know in my own, I didn't know if I could do it. I've never done it. I'm big on proving things to myself. But they had seen the process and me go about it every day and to get them to believe that I could do it. And maybe they believe more than me to start. And now I'm obviously a believer. But just having them have my back, him and Coach Dickert and all the other coaches in the building means the world.
I can remember being at practice 2 years ago, and Coach Dickert pulled me aside and he pointed at you and he goes, that guy, keep an eye on John. And it was cool because I known about you in recruiting, and then to watch you in that room. And at the time, it was Emmett Brown, who you competed against in that game that you referenced against San Jose State. There's also Cam Ward, who's having a heck of a season, you and a couple others. When you think back to who was in that room, and then how that room has impacted various regions of the country in college football this season, whether it's Emmett in the first 6 games he started or Cam, continually rolling. What does that do? And are you guys on some sort of a thread?
Oh, we definitely are. And
Okay.
we all text here and there. It's been great to see because Emmett left and he really bet on himself. He left and walked on in San Jose and earned a scholarship, earned a starting job, and whatever's going on there, I don't know right now, but I'm super proud of him. He's a great friend, great dude to me. We competed, yes, but we both wanted the best for each other every day, and I appreciate him. We text often. And then Cam, obviously, is running college football, right, with his celebrations, number one quarterback. I'm super proud of him. Watching his highlights every week is incredible, and some of the things he's doing. I'm proud of him, too, and his mentorship for me and Emmett have helped us a lot to do so well starting.
Yeah, I think the quarterback position is a fragile one and also a powerful one in a bunch of different ways. I also think the quarterbacks and head coaches are two people that really understand what it's like to be in that type of position, right? One where there's expectations, one where the standard might be a little bit higher internally and easily externally. How have you and Jake Dickert been able to navigate the head coach, quarterback, face the program in one of the most unique seasons and now a very successful season for your Cougs?
He's taught me a lot because he's obviously been in the head coach position before, but I've never been a starting quarterback at this level position before. So he's really helped me maneuver some of these things like the media and what I say to my teammates because it matters so much. And just knowing him, my 3rd year under him, has been huge, and our relationship continues to grow. I meet with him every week, every Thursday morning, and it's more and more like we talk about the game, and then we're just talking about life. He's checking in on me, and he's been a great coach and great mentor to look after, and I appreciate everything he's done. He's doing a great job, just keeping me centered, keeping everybody centered, like I said earlier. But
by the time you play your next game, there will be the first CFP rankings will come out. You guys talk about that at all? You pay that?
Actually, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that was. I think I saw it somewhere, but it's just I can't control it. We can't control it here in this building. And we had a team meeting this morning. He was like, "Don't get caught up in it because we can't control it. All I can control is how I lead and how I go about every day. If we end up in it, it's great. It's a blessing from God, and we win 11 games, this and that. All these what ifs could run through our minds, right? But it's gonna be cool to see, right? First one ever. It's going to be a cool little production, I bet, and keeping up with it's going to be fun. But worrying about it is not how we're going about it.
Yeah, it's going to be a very busy night in the first ranking because it's also election night. So we'll see how that shakes out. I want, before we cut you loose, I am curious about something you said earlier. You talked about the offseason program that wasn't in the beautiful indoor that you have now, right? It was out in the cold. It was early in the morning. And it seems like a theme around this program is finishing. And now you're in that final stretch, right? There's an old adage that a good friend of mine would say, the games they remember are the ones in November. And here we go. The next time you put on a helmet and have that beautiful hair float out of it, you're going to be in the month of November, man. How do you anticipate this team finishing?
I mean, of course, I think we're going to finish hard. We're going to finish strong. I think we're going to Coach challenged us today to turn it up a notch. The film, the sleep, the recovery, the eating, everything. Because why not? Like, in a world where we are so close to what we want, why would you lay down now? Why would you rest now? And that's what I believe. Like, if you're so close, you go harder and you go get it, And we were finished. All offseason was +2 finish. That's what we did every day. If there's a line, you finish 2 yards past the line. Everything. Warm-ups, running, everything. And I have no doubt that we're going to finish strong because if anybody does, man, they're going to get checked because why would we not go as hard as we can, especially for these seniors, for these guys that only have so many games left. And I'm going to do that. Kyle Thornton's like my big brother. I room with him, and when we travel, I love that dude to death. I'm going to give everything I have for him and all the other seniors.
Love that +2 finish. I am stealing that. I'm clipping that out and playing it for my 9-year-old flag team. Okay. And we'll give you all the credit in the world, John. Okay.
Give Coach Digger the credit.
Okay. All right. I'll give both of you credit. If you guys ever want to come, you want a speaking gig, come on down. We'll take care of you down here in LA. Heck, good. Maybe we'll see you down here for the Rose Bowl. Who knows? We'll bring our flag team. All right. To that point, before we let you go, if you don't know, I want to tell you, my love for your community at Washington State is through the roof. I'm an honorary Coug. And follow you like many do around the globe. It is a huge brand. As I travel the country calling games this year, I've seen at least somebody in probably 6 or 7 stops with either a Coug hat on, a hoodie. If you could say something to them around the support that you've received and that you need to receive here for this stretch run, I'm curious how you would address and what you might say to this incredible fan base.
I would say as a kid that, came here from Texas, not knowing anything about the place, not knowing anything about Pullman, coming here, working up, starting, I appreciate y'all and the love and the support that y'all have given me personally. It means the world to have y'all behind me, to help me, lift me up when I need it and support me when everything's good, right? But then just how much y'all travel and cheer and how passionate y'all are on social media and in the stands, it means a lot and it helps us. I believe it helps us. And I think just keep doing what you're doing. Just like I said, turn it up a notch for the last couple stretch. Do whatever you can. Come to the games. It's going to be cold, which is what makes it great up here, right? But, yeah, I appreciate you guys, and let's finish.
I love it. Let's finish. I want to wish your equipment staff best of luck keeping your jersey clean as the season progresses.
I want that jersey.
I know. I want a jersey here, okay? I don't want it washed. I want like a game-worn jersey in our back, our little setup here at Y Option, okay? You let us know if you're going to auction that thing off. Make sure we get in the game a little bit, man, all right?
Yes, sir.
I love it. All right, John, we'll have you back on. Stay safe. Slide when you can slide. And I know you don't do that often, but take care of your body and go thrive in this final stretch, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
There it is. John Mateer, your favorite quarterback's favorite quarterback. It's the Afterglow. Jim Thornby, Yogi Roth. That was John Mateer, as always, presented by our incredible founding partner, 76, keeping you in the know on the go, go, go. Jim, you have shared and laid out some amazing stats about John Mateer. The amount of touchdowns he has, the amount of passing touchdowns, rushing touchdowns, when he's near the tops in the country in all of those categories. What did you take away from this conversation with a Heisman hopeful quarterback?
That he is the perfect quarterback for this team this year. I think, that chip on his shoulder from being the 119th rated quarterback in his high school class, and not really getting a lot of attention coming out of high school, as he referenced in there. I think that's kind of the perfect fit for where this program is right now and everything that's kind of happened to them. He has that. It's not a cockiness, but he is definitely not short on confidence. And I respect that. He's even just in the conversations that we had with him before and after the interview, you could tell like he's got that swagger to him for sure. And I think that's really helpful for what they've been going through.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that every great quarterback, every good quarterback, every just starting quarterback, you have to have scar tissue. You have to navigate adversity. You can't run from it. I don't care if you're in high school and you want to transfer because you want to start, or you're in college and you're frustrated, you want to transfer. Like at some point, you can't run from it. Anthony Richardson, case in point with the Colts. Like you've got to meet it at some point. It's going to find you. It found him. It's found this team. And what I love most is not only what he does in the field, of course, that's a no-brainer, but I really think it's how he and this team reflect the adversity their team has gone through. Again, by no fault of their own, they're in the position they're in. They're in a unique conference. They have a unique schedule. They also have a unique culture. Not a lot of guys left this team. I get that Cam Ward did. He's also a Heisman candidate. He also declared for the draft before he ended up at Miami. John Mateer also played when Cam Ward was playing last year. Like they were in the same quarterback room. Like I just think that his maturity, learning from Cam, but reflecting Jake Dickert, reflecting Ben Arbuckle, and not making it about proving everybody wrong and saying, we got screwed, look at us. They're going the opposite. Based on the conversation we had and many that we've had with Jake Dickert and company, it's about them. And I love that for this team. This is what CFP caliber teams do. There's a recipe. There's a model. And you have to have a quarterback who can be one who changes the game, can dictate terms, has unique traits, is an elite competitor, and he's a dominant dual threat player. He does all those things in spades, man. So it was, from my lens, a really fun conversation. And it's going to be fun because next time we have an episode, I guess 2 episodes from now, we'll be talking about the first playoff ranking and how the committee views this team. We'll get into that, maybe a little bit in the newsletter over the weekend. We'll definitely get into it next week on our opening episode of the week. If you missed anything, newsletter from last week was really fun. We talk about things that inspired me, like Kalinsky's Hope. Go check that out. This past week, we had Jake Budd on. He's calling the SC UW game, was on the Michigan game a week ago. Michigan is playing Oregon, of course. And then I'm on my way to Nebraska. And we had a great conversation today with John Mateer. So, Jim, hell of a week. Good work. You don't need to get any sleep now because you're going to get it on Saturday night. Get an extra hour. The games are over early. You'll be good, man. All right?
Best sleep ever. Best sleep ever.
All right. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the support. Peace.